Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be ranking all 20 February 2022 films I saw ranked. Some of these films, I know in America they came out last year, but they came out here in New Zealand this year, well, in this month. So yeah, there's 20 of them, so let's just get straight into it. My first movie I'm going to be talking about is the first film I saw this year, and it was House of Gucci. Now, for me, personally, I gave it an 84%, so I'm going to be putting House of Gucci on the great tier. I really did enjoy House of Gucci. I think it was a fun time. I enjoyed my time with this film, and yeah, I just had a blast with it. It was such a fun and entertaining film. Next up, we're going to be talking about Jackass Forever, and I'm going to be putting it on the great tier. Jackass Forever was such a great movie. I had an absolute blast with Jackass Forever. I think this was such a fun movie. I give it an 86%. I just enjoyed the hell out of this film. This was probably one of my favorite. Well, still in my top 10 of the year, which is still doing well. Yeah, I love Jackass Forever. It was such a fun movie, and I think the new cast in this film did a great job in this movie. Some of the, if you call them stunts in this movie, were fantastic. I loved them. Even some just really got real cringe-worthy experiences, but I just had a blast with Jackass Forever. I think people should definitely check this movie out because it was just a blast, and I loved this film so much. Next up, we have Moonfall, and Moonfall is going to fall straight down to the awful tier. Yes. Moonfall, what happened to you? Well, this film was a very bad film. I gave it a 10%, and I was, to be honest, I knew it was going to be bad, but I just had a slight anticipation for this film, and it just dropped down completely, and I just did not enjoy this film. Yeah, it's near the bottom of my list for all the films that I saw this year. Yes, I've already seen 41 films this year. Jesus, I'm good. But yeah, Moonfall, unfortunately, did not land perfectly for me. I didn't really enjoy this film. Roland Emmerich is, well, if you don't know who Roland Emmerich is he directed Independence Day 2012, The Day After Tomorrow, Independence Day, Resurgence, Godzilla, Patriot, White House Down. So a lot of end of world movies, and yeah, this movie just did not land for me. The movie that did land for me was a movie called American Underdog, and I think this was a good movie. I think American Underdog was such an entertaining film. This was very close to making it onto the great tier. I gave it a 78%, so it was very close to making it on to the great tier. I enjoyed this film so much. This was such a good film. I think John Irwin and Andrew Irwin do a great job. John Irwin has directed I Still Believe, which came out in 2020, and Andrew Irwin again directed I Still Believe, so both of them have worked on I Still Believe, so that was one of their big films, and then they moved to American Underdog with like Zachary Levi and Anna Paquin and Dennis Quaid. I think this movie was just a very good movie. I enjoyed my time with it, and I think people should definitely check it out. Next up is West Side Story. Yes, it came out last year. Don't hate me. I almost wrote this in February, but for me, I'm putting it on the awesome tier. I loved West Side Story. It's not because I've watched all these reviews and saying it's amazing, it's an awesome film. I did not read or watch any of them. I went in with my own personal opinions for this film, and I loved the hell out of West Side Story. It's not my favourite movie of the year. Scream is still my favourite movie of the year, but West Side Story was very close to beating it. But Scream got, since I watched it last night, it got an extra 3%, so I was at 93, and West Side Story got a 90, so 3% difference. If I rewatch West Side Story, could overtop Scream, but who knows? I loved West Side Story. It was such a fun movie, and yeah, definitely check it out. Next up, we have Nightmare Alley, and I'm going to be putting this on the great tier. And Nightmare Alley was such a fun film. Was I anticipating this film? Absolutely, I was. The cast. Let me just tell you the cast: Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara, Willem Dafoe, Toni Collette, Ron Perlman. Like a great cast, and directed by Guillermo del Toro, who has directed The Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, Hellboy 2, Blade 2, and then gonna direct this year a Pinocchio film. So yeah, Nightmare Alley was such an awesome movie. I really did enjoy Nightmare Alley. I loved the story to this film. It was very entertaining. The movie was very entertaining, and I just had a blast with watching this film. I gave it an 87%, so it could have been close to making it onto the awesome tier. But yeah, I just had an absolute blast with Nightmare Alley. Next up is Licorice Pizza. For me, this movie is going on the great tier. I know I could have put on the awesome tier. It was originally supposed to be on the awesome tier, but I pushed it down, and it was actually my favourite movie of the year, but I pushed it down because I rewatched it, and I still love this film. There were just some parts of the movie that did not really work. Some of the jokes didn't really land that well. It was entertaining. Don't worry. It was really entertaining. I really loved Licorice Pizza. PTA does a great job directing this film. If you don't know who PTA is, Paul Thomas Anderson. He's a fantastic director. He has directed fantastic films such as hold up. Let me get this. There we go. He has directed There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread, Punch, Drunk Love, Magnolia, as he said, The Master, Boogie Nights. So some great films. I really did enjoy Licorice Pizza. Next up is The Kingsman. Finally got to see that film. The Kingsman for me is going on. There we go. It's going on a good tier. I don't think it's the best movie out of the Kingsman movies. I think the original and the sequel is better. But don't get me wrong, I still enjoy The Kingsman. I think it was a great movie. Well, not a great movie, like a good movie. I think the cast does a great job. Ralph Fiennes, Harris Dickinson, Jim Arton, Ralph Fiennes, John Honso, Matthew Good. A great cast. Daniel Brühl, who's from the MCU, and directed by Matthew Vaughn, who has directed Kingsman 2, X-Men First Class, and Kick-Ass. So he's directed great films. This movie, I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast with this film. There were just the entertainment out of this film just kind of dropped. The second half the second act didn't really land that well for me. But overall, I just think it's a good movie. Next up is Super Cool. I'm going to be putting it up on the bad tier. Super Cool. What happened? I was looking forward to this film. It had a great cast. It had Jake Short, Miles J. Harvey, and Damian Wayans Jr. I was especially looking forward to Damian Wayans Jr. because he has been in some of my favourite films, and not one of my favourite comedies, but like a guilty pleasure of mine, Let's Be Cops. I'm sorry, that was a guilty pleasure of mine. I love Let's Be Cops. He's been a big hero. 6 The Other Guys, The Harder They Fall, and so some big films. Jake Short. But yeah, Super Cool just wasn't my thing. I mean, Jake Short is a good actor. It just didn't really work for me. I gave it what did I give it? A 40%. Next up, we have I Want You Back, a rom-com film because it was Valentine's this month, and I'm going to be putting it on the good tier. This was a very good film. I really did enjoy I Want You Back. It had a great story to it about two couples breaking up and two people from those two couples. That sounds really hard to explain. Hold up, let me just get a synopsis up. Okay, there. Peter and Emma thought they were on precipice, I don't know the word, of life's biggest moments, marriage, kids, and houses in their suburbs, until their respective partners dumped them. Horrified to learn that the loves of their lives had already moved on, Peter and Emma hatch a hilarious plan to win back their exes with unexpected results. Yeah, that's what this film is. It was a good story to it. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Charlie Day does a great job in this film. I really liked his role in this film. I think he does a great job. Who else was in this? Who was the girl? Jenny Slate does a great job. I think Jenny Slate and Charlie Day are the standouts for me. Gina Rodriguez is in this film. I think she does great. The guy from The Good Place, what's his name? I think, Manny Chiquenta. Then one of the Eastwood brothers, what's his name? Scott Eastwood. I think he does great. But the movie overall, it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was a good movie. Next up, we have Marry Me. Now, Marry Me is high up on my list. Probably one of the most surprising films of the year. And it's a great movie. I put it on a great tier. I gave it an 80%. I just got the extra mile to make on the great tier. We have a lot of good movies this year I'm happy with. I had a blast with Marry Me. I think this was a great film. I think people should definitely check it out if you have not seen it. I think Jennifer Lopez and I was about to say Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson do great in this movie. I love this film. It was an enjoyable movie. About a guy that went to a singer's concert and she was going to marry her soon-to-be husband, but found out that he was cheating on her. So then she basically chooses someone from the crowd to say, "Marry me," and then they get married, and then see what happens after that. Yeah, it's basically like that. I enjoyed this film. It was an enjoyable movie. Next up, we have Tall Girl 2. Tall Girl 2. As a I'm gonna put it on the. God, this is hard. It's not bad or awful. I'm gonna be putting it on the. I think I'm gonna be putting it on the bad tier. I don't think it's on the awful tier for me. But Tall Girl 2 is still bloody bad. I do not like this film. The acting and the story, not good. There's not really much of the story. The movie overall, bad. Yeah, there's nothing really much to say about this film besides bad. Next up, it's Death on the Nile. I think it's a good movie. This is the sequel to The Murder of the Orient on the Orient Express. Death on the Nile, I think, was a good movie. I really did enjoy my time with Death on the Nile. I had a blast with it. It was enjoyable. I gave it a 62%. It was fine. I wouldn't say it's like a terrible, awful film. It was enjoyable. I love the cast in this film. Who's in this movie? Kenneth Branagh, who directed it. I think he is a fantastic director. Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, Russell Brand, Tom Bateman, Anna Bening, who else? Letitia Wright, who's on Black Panther. So great people in this movie. I really did enjoy Death on the Nile. Definitely check it out if you have not seen it already. Because, it was just a fun movie. Next up we have... Do I have to talk about this film? Fine, it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 6. Can I speak? Yeah, no, it's on the awful tier for me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 was an awful film. I gave it a 14%. 16%. I should bloody be grateful that I gave it 1.5 out of 5. I'm going to change that to a 1. But a 1. This movie was freaking bad. I'm never going to see this movie again. I mean, I have watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, and I know basically the whole franchise is all terrible, except the first one. The first one I really enjoy. But this movie was an awful movie. Or just, yeah, no, not for me. Not enjoyable. Let's just move on to a good movie. Great movie, actually. Uncharted. For me, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. It's going on the great tier for me. I really, really did enjoy Uncharted. I think this was a great movie. A lot of great movies this year. Uncharted was such a fun, entertaining, and enjoyable film. I love Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland's chemistry together. I think they do fantastic. Antonio Banderas as the villain, I think he does great as a villain. I just had a blast with Uncharted. I think this was such a fun, entertaining film. Was it a surprising film? No, I kind of already knew that I was going to enjoy this film. But yeah, I just had a blast with Uncharted, and I cannot wait to rewatch Uncharted because it was just a movie that I enjoyed my time with, and yeah, it was enjoyable. I liked it, and I cannot wait to rewatch it. Next up, we have Kimi. Kimi's going to go on the good tier for me. Kimi was a good movie that I enjoyed. With Zoe Kravitz, who is going to be in the new Batman as Catwoman. Cannot wait for that. Directed by Steven Soderbergh. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, sorry. He's directed Ocean's 11, Logan Lucky, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, Magic Mike. No Sudden Move, that was a great movie from him. The Laundromat. So some great films. And this movie, I think he did great on. I really enjoyed Kimi. It was an enjoyable film. Basically about the COVID pandemic. And it's based on the COVID pandemic. And I really did enjoy Kimi. I think it was a fun film. I think Zoe Kravitz does a great job in this movie, and I cannot wait to rewatch it. Next up, we have Dog. And Dog is going on the great tier. This was probably the most surprising movie of the year, hands down. I did not know that I was going to enjoy this film at all. I thought it was going to be like, on the okay tier, but whoa, it just hit me like that. It's on, dang, wow. I gave it an 80%. I really did enjoy Dog. It had a great story. Well, it had like a normal, I thought it was going to be like a cheesy dog film, but actually, it was fun. It was good. But yeah, Dog was such a good movie. I think it's a great movie. Definitely check it out in the theatres if you're in New Zealand, probably around next month. But yeah, I just had a blast with Dog and cannot wait to rewatch it. Next up, we have Black Light. And for me, Black Light, just, it's a bad movie. Liam Neeson was probably the best part about this film. Liam Neeson's a fantastic actor. Just, yearly Liam Neeson action films that are basically the same story told over and over and over again. Black Light, did not work for me as much as I was looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to Black Light because I loved The Marksman. I had a good time with The Marksman from last year. Black Light, I literally got told about this from like the week it came out. So it's like, I don't know what this film is going to be about. Don't know what it is. Literally had no idea what this film was about. I watched it. I was really disappointed by this film. It's a bad movie. Probably never going to watch it again. Oh god. Next up we have Tyler Perry. What was it? Tyler Perry's A Madea Homecoming. This is another bad movie. It didn't work for me. You got Mrs. Brown in there from Britain, from England, which I'm like, yes, we finally get British, Madea and Mrs. Brown in together in one movie, which I've been wanting for a long time. Madea films don't really work that well for me. I didn't enjoy this film. I think it was bad. It gave it a 45%. It could have been meh, but it just didn't land perfectly for me. But it does have quite a lot of problems in this film, but It does try its best on being good, but okay, but didn't really land that well for me. Next up, we have No Exit, and it's going to go on the good tier. This was the last film I saw this year. Yes, I did not see no Studio 666. Unfortunately, I did not be able to see it, but it will be on my March list. No Exit, I had a blast with this film. This was such an entertaining film that I enjoyed and I liked. It was good. I liked the thriller aspect of the film. It was really enjoyable. Definitely check it out if you have not seen it already. Or if you have not seen it, because it was just a blast of a film and just a really enjoyable movie that I had a blast with. Cannot wait to rewatch it. I think the cast is fantastic in this movie. What percentage should I get this movie? A 64%. I really did enjoy this film for what it was, and yeah, I think it was just a blast and just a really enjoyable film that I think people should definitely check out. Check it out. Now on to ranking it. Last place for February is Moonfall, followed by Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the top of Awful. Then at the bottom of Bad is Tall Girl 2, followed by Blacklight, followed by Super Cool, and on the top of Bad is Madea Homecoming on the good tier, because we missed Okay and Good, so we did good this year, good this month. Number bottom of good, we have Kimmy, followed by Death on the Nile. Oh, there we are. Followed by No Exit. Followed by The Kingsman. Then 10 as I Want You Back at that same spot. Oh, did I push that down? No. Jackass is on the great tier. How did I put that down? Hold up, I lost it. Yeah. And then the top of good is American Underdog. On the great, at the bottom of great, we have Marry Me, followed by Dog, followed by Uncharted. Number 6, now in the top 5. 5 is House of Gucci, followed by number 4 is Licorice Pizza. Now the bronze medal goes to Jackass Forever. The silver goes to Nightmare Alley, and my favourite movie of February 2022 is West Side Story. Now just recap the ranking. 20 is Moonfall, 19 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 18 is Tall Girl 2, 17 is Blacklight, 16 is Super Cool, 15 is Tyler Perry's Madea Homecoming, 14 is Kimmy, 13 is Death on the Nile, 12 is No Exit, 11 is The Kingsman, 10 is I Want You Back, 9 is American Underdog, 8 is Marry Me, 7 is Dog, 6 is Uncharted, 5 is House of Gucci, 4 is Licorice Pizza, 3 is Jackass Forever, 2 is Nightmare Alley, and 1 is West Side Story. Now onto the films coming out in the next month. We have After Yang, Fresh, The Batman, Turning Red, The Adam Project, Deepwater, Downton Abbey, A New Era, Operation Fortune, X, Windfall, Moonshot, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Duke, The Lost City. So yeah, those are the films that comes out next month. Can't wait for those. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and I have a special announcement. I'll be doing my every TV show I saw in February. All eight TV shows I saw in February. That is another tier list I'll be starting at the end of each month. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel. Be a big help. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.